Dr. Amy Guernsey with University Veterinary Care Center is now joining us. Good morning, Dr. Guernsey.
Morning.
Now, you know, I'm a cat person, but I know a lot of people enjoy having snakes, geckos, and other reptiles as pets. But with that comes shedding. So what's happening when a reptile is shedding?
So basically, it's just replacing old dead skin cells with new scales. Reptiles are not the only species to do that. We actually do that. We just don't do it as an impressive as a display. We shed a few cells at a time. They shed like an entire body's worth. So it's just part of the normal growth and regeneration of new cells.
Well, what can we expect during the shedding process if we have a pet reptile?
So it does depend a little bit on the species. The vast majority of snakes will try to do their shed all in one long piece. If you've been walking through the woods and found an empty snake, that's what you're seeing is their shed and completion. Whereas most of the lizards tend to do it more in patches. Before they go into a shed, they might take on kind of a bluish color, and that's actually the old skin separating from the new, so it's called being in blue. They can actually be a little bit sensitive to being handled at that time, so understand your reptile may be grumpy during that period. They may not eat as well, but that's all part of the process.
Well, is there anything that we can be doing to help them through that process?
Yeah, absolutely. So husbandry, I've mentioned before, is extremely important for all species, but especially reptiles. If their humidity and temperature isn't just perfect, they can have problems shedding. So you want to make sure that you've researched what is ideal for your species and have that set in their environment. You also can include kind of what we call abrasive furniture, so different logs or hide boxes or things that they can actually rub up against and help themselves get it off. If they're having trouble, there's products called like Shed Ease, or you can even use mineral oil to help moisten the spots where they seem to be having retained shed.
Well, can this process go bad? I mean, what does it look like?
So yeah, if things are not ideal and they maybe either their temperature, humidity is off, or they're dealing with a health problem that keeps them from shedding normally, they can have retained shed. It's called disecdysis. And over time, that can be problematic. Some of the lizards, if they get retained shed around their toes, can actually lose a toe. Some of the snakes that shed their eye caps can get retained spectacles. So what it looks like is basically the shed just isn't coming off, and it may be painful for them. They may be off their food for longer. They just may not be acting totally right, and those are the ones that you want to potentially bring into your vet and have them checked out.
Okay, everything you've ever wanted to know about shedding. Dr. Guernsey, thank you for being with us today. And for more information about University Veterinary Care Center, head over to universityvetcare.com.